is up, everybody? I am Cortland.
And I'm Justin.
And welcome to episode 10 of Better Off Reds after our little hiatus. But be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and your favorite podcasting apps. We do our live shows normally every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. on Facebook Live and YouTube. And our audio podcast will go up shortly after that the same night. So, Justin.
Cortland. What? You cut out. What was that?
How have you been?
I've been okay. I did post on social media that my dad had a stroke, so that's why we had to postpone the episode last week. He is getting the care that he needs now, so that's good. Other than that, I've been pretty good. Today's my wedding anniversary. Just got back from a big old dinner. She was gracious enough to let me join you for the podcast.
Man, I didn't realize it was today.
Yeah, it's today, man.
I thought anniversary gift.
I honestly thought yours was like a couple days after mine. That's why I asked before the show, because I really thought yours was going to be like Saturday or something. But I didn't realize yours was in July.
Shoot, if mine falls on a Thursday, I don't know if I'll be that lucky.
I mean, she's sick of me, so it was like a blessing for her. So I'm doing okay. I'm just, working and not getting summer break like my wife and child get, and like you get, and like your wife gets. So I'm jealous of each and every one of you, but it is what it is. So yeah. I do want to shout out some Poorhouse Coffee. Not a sponsor, just a happy fan. Delicious stuff. But yeah, how have you been?
Good. Like you said, I'm on summer break officially. It was leading up to it the last time we did an episode. So, yeah, the last couple of weeks have just been filled with a bunch of cuddles from my new baby and just hanging out with him and the wife. So it's been really nice. But now we're starting to look at everything that needs done around the house. So it's going to start turning into project after project after project.
I do have one question for you, and this is the question that people will want to know the answer to.
Yeah.
And that is, when are we going to go golfing?
It might be relatively soon.
Oh my gosh. Fills me with happiness.
My wife's sister actually had a baby last week too.
Congrats.
So yeah. So now my wife and my baby have somebody to hang out with other than our other friends that are normally busy. So it's good. So yeah. So maybe
let me know when.
Maybe soon.
I'll be there. All right. I'm excited. Very excited. So enough about us. Let's talk about the Reds. We're going to do tonight's show a little bit differently where we were gone for that week. We're just going to kind of recap, I guess, the team's like individual performances. We're going to talk about that over the last 2 weeks. We might touch on some specific instances in games and series. But so real quick, since our last show, the Reds won 1 out of 3 against the Brewers.
Mm-hmm.
They won 2 out of 3 against the Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
1 out of 3 against the Cubs, and 1 out of 2 against the Phillies. That third game, reopening day, that they would not shut up about, was rained out. So that's how the Reds look right now. On the year, I actually don't know their standings on the year. I had it written down earlier.
I believe
it's not good.
24 and 29 still without
they're fourth.
Without that third game.
Fourth place, not where you want to be. It is only, it's now June. I mean, we can only say it's only this month.
We're getting to the point that it's starting to matter a little bit more.
And
especially we'll get into this stuff, but just to throw out, like we said, we're fourth at 24 and 29. Yeah, it's starting to get serious when the next place above us is 5 games ahead of us, and we are 7 games behind first. So it's starting to kind of slip away, but we'll get into that later. But continue.
Anything can happen. There's actually one thing I actually had written in the notes later for around our division, but I'll go and throw it out there now. This division is weird. Every team except for the Pirates has held that top spot at some point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a revolving door. The only problem is it seems like the Cubs, the Cardinals, the Brewers kind of keep cycling back into first, and the Reds have it since the first week. Is it time to panic? Probably.
Well, yeah. Once we start talking about how these series went, maybe we might be there. But
do you want to take hitting or do you want to take pitching?
Yeah, I'll take hitting because it's one of the better things that's been going on, at least for some guys. So over this time that we've been gone, it's been inconsistent. We've had, like I said, we've had guys that have done pretty good, but the rest of the team has kind of just went. I don't know if I'd say ice cold, because it's sporadic, but it's not consistent at all. So Castellanos, He's batting 415, and he has an 18-game hitting streak. I believe going into tonight, right?
Yeah, that's just for since our last show, not on the
Okay.
season. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Since the
And
last.
that does not include tonight's numbers. He got a hit in the first inning. So did Winker. Yeah.
All right. So he's the only one, and he's hit one dinger with 4 RBIs since our last show. So he's doing fantastic. Couldn't ask for better than that. Winker, he's keeping it up as well. Another guy we didn't really think was going to be, yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, so Castellanos, he extended his hit streak to 19 games just now.
Yeah. So
yeah, because the Reds are up 1-0 right now against the Cardinals. They had the bases loaded.
And I believe Brandon Phillips has the record with 22 games. So
I think that's just – I don't think that's an all-time –
That's for the Reds. That's for the Reds.
Reds hit streak record. I'll turn to my good pal. For some reason, it's Bing. I actually didn't pick Bing. No, 44. Pete Rose
is the most by a Red.
Yeah.
Also, the thing I saw, I think, was in a month.
Gotcha.
I think Brandon Phillips had 22 in a month. Okay.
Dang.
So, yeah, he can't get that now because it's not a new month.
Yeah.
But he might get 44. Who knows? That'd be freaking crazy. But anyways, Winker, he's also been doing good. He's still batting 350. He's had 5 home runs and 6 RBIs within this time that we've been gone. And he has a 15.6% strikeout rate, which is very low. So these two guys are the only ones that are really
carrying the team.
Yeah, they're consistently keeping us in games. Max Schrock, we've talked about him. I think it was within like the first 2 weeks or first 3 weeks or something. He kind of had a random good night then too. But he's only had 20 plate appearances since then. Again, he's a guy that doesn't get in a lot with all the injuries and stuff that we'll get into.
He's injured now too. He's on the IL.
Gosh. So the guy we had in for the injured guys is injured. And while he was in for the injured guys, he was batting 316 with a homer and 3 RBIs. So you couldn't ask for more from a guy that doesn't really get any kind of clout at all.
Yeah.
India has been back. He's 292 for a rookie. That's not bad. I'm not going to complain about that. And he also has a 13.8% walk rate. So
I wonder what his ground ball rate is. I bet it's like
he does.
he counts out a lot.
He does, and he almost beats him out, but the hair throws his helmet off.
Slows him down a little bit.
It does. Naquin is batting 237, not awful. He's had 2 homers, but he's had 10 RBIs. So he's getting runs in. The batting average is okay, but he's really helping keep the runs in the game. So I guess you could say he's contributing a little bit more than everybody else as well in that factor. And then we have the catchers who were kind of red hot going into our last episode. Barnhart and Stevenson, they have both now cooled down. So excuse me, Barnhart is 217 and Stevenson is 167. And so, Justin, we have a question.
What's that?
We have a comment.
Oh, I didn't know that. My bad.
Yeah.
Real quick before we go to the comment, I was gonna say both catchers were hitting over 300 just like 2 episodes ago.
Yeah,
they were on fire. Stevenson's now hitting 252 and Barnhart's 271. 271 is still really good. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Elijah Hamilton is in the building. He's asking off-topic questions too. You know what? Let's see. He goes off topic, but I got to ask: can LeBron pull off this series? No. I hope not.
I don't think you can.
I'm not a LeBron hater. I'm really not. I just don't want to see the Lakers win. I am a Laker hater.
Right.
So yeah, I don't want the Lakers to win. I'm definitely pulling for the Suns in that series, but it doesn't matter because Luka Magic and the Mavericks are gonna win the whole thing. So.
To say LeBron was also trashing the play-in tournament this year, and that's the only reason they made it in was because they wanted the play-in tournament.
Well, last year he thought it was a great idea when they were like a 1 seed, and now that they're in the play-in, he was like, I think it's stupid.
And then it's the only way they got in, and now they're on the brink of elimination. I don't think they can. I just think Anthony Davis is
too beat up
big.
Right now.
Yeah, he's too big of a factor for them not to have. So we'll see, Eli. That'll be a good thing. We'll have
NBA playoffs have been good this year.
They have that. There's something I normally don't watch, and I've been kind of keeping up with those a bit more so than the Reds these last couple of weeks. So
I love one thing. I hate to get off topic on the NBA so much, but one thing I love too is I feel like we're seeing these young stars like Luka, Trae Young, Ja Morant. We're seeing them really take over like in their second and third years.
Yeah.
As opposed to like the 5th or 6th year when they kind of like own a team. Like they're really like, and even the Knicks, I hate the Knicks, but like they were literally led by like Julius Randle and Derrick Rose.
Right.
I mean, it's just been such a cool NBA year. Elijah says, I'm a Celtics fan, die hard, but honestly, I'm going to game 7 just based off LeBron. But if AD doesn't come back for them, then it's over. And he also says Luka is filthy. I agree.
Yeah, Luka's
I agree.
nasty.
Luka's
He's like
the man.
6 years or 7 years younger
Yeah.
than me.
I
He's
think
like 10
I
years
know
younger than me.
it's depressing. That age, like I'm at the age now, I'm 33, where I'm like, oh man, all these athletes, like when you're a kid, you're like, oh, they're grown ups, you know, and when you're an adult, you're like, oh, they're kids.
That's
So like,
what school was ending these last couple of weeks, and they were doing graduation stuff. And I was talking to one of my former girls basketball players that was on the team this year, and like after talking to her, I realized like she's graduating now. She was 10 years old when I graduated.
oh,
And I was
jeez.
like, oh my gosh, man, that just made me feel so old. Like, because it's my 10-year reunion and she's just now graduating. And I was like, oh gosh, that's heartbreaking. But not as heartbreaking as Eugenio Suarez's batting average as of late.
What did you call him?
I try to do it like they do at the stadium. They put a real emphasis on the EUNG.
Oh man,
What'd you say?
Elijah is now.
Oh, yeah.
He's poolside on vacation, drinking a brewski, listening to Better Off Reds. Can't get better than this. Elijah,
Nice.
I hope you're having a good time, man.
Yeah,
That
we
sounds like
appreciate
you're having
it.
a good time.
That's awesome.
It is. So Eugenio
Yeah,
Suarez.
He's batting 179, but he's had 3 home runs, so he's still trying to get his 50 home runs like he wanted. He's taken over leadoff duties lately. The team as a whole is batting 237 over the whole period that we've been discussing, with 15 homers and 45 runs scored. That's not terrible. Now, a lot of the runs came from the one game against the Phillies when we scored like 11. So you take those 11 away, that gives us what, 30? Yeah, 34.
I'm not sure.
No, I can't do math.
I can't do math either, man.
But
you seem exhausted now.
Yeah.
Math.
Yeah, that hurt my head. But you take those away, then the numbers aren't so great. So one game kind of bumped that stat a little bit.
I'm going to do the run differential real quick. The Reds are a minus 30 run differential. The Pirates are a minus 83. The only team with a positive run diff is the Cubs, plus 38.
Man, plus 38.
Even the Cardinals are a minus 10. Also, it's a tie game. Cardinals just scored in the bottom of the first.
Ooh.
Yeah, so the run differential looks pretty bad for the Reds and for the NL Central.
So that's the batting. The batting was okay. It wasn't fantastic other than from a couple of guys. So what about the pitching, Justin, over that same period of time? Oh, we got another question.
Yeah, he asked who we got for the World Series. That's a great question. I honestly think it's going to be an NL West team. It's just a matter of which NL West team. If Tatis Jr. stays healthy, could be San Diego. If he doesn't, it probably won't be. Dodgers have definitely shown some weaknesses throughout the year, but they're still remaining. They have a pretty commanding. They're not even on top of the division, but they're 33-23, which might even be. Yeah, that's the second best record in baseball. Well, third, I guess, overall, third best record in the National League. Sorry, got mixed up there. As far as the AL, I mean, you've got a bunch of teams in the mix. The White Sox are a pretty well-rounded team. They've got pitching. They've got solid hitting. They don't rely on the long ball. Eli says he's calling the Red Sox. Red Sox, maybe. They have a 33-23 record right now, but Tampa has a 2-game lead on them in that division. It's June. I know I said that, like, it might be time for the Reds to panic, but I mean, there's still a lot that can happen, especially in those divisions where it's a lot closer, like the NL West. I mean, gosh, I don't even know. The fourth place team there, the Rockies, are 12 games back. I mean, that's a 3-man race over there. It's crazy. Who knows what's going to happen?
If I had to pick right now, I like you said, if Tatis can stay healthy, I would put them up there, but I would pick the Giants out of the NL West, and I would pick the Rays, because the Rays is that team that whenever they do have a good team, it's like those random good teams that they have for 1 year, and they'll normally go to a World Series or close to a World Series and either win it or they'll be like 1 game away. Like, they normally do super hot when they build this team, and then the years after they win or go super far, they just all these players disappear. Yeah. So I think the Rays will get it for the AL. I'll say Giants right now just because they're on top of the West. But yeah, the West is nasty. Those top three in the West are just absolutely nuts.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I hate Yadier Molina. He just singled, and the Cardinals took a 2-1 lead. It's gonna be a rough night, everybody. Let's talk about pitching. Pitching has been all over the place. Antone
my boy.
He has an ERA of 0, which is great. He also has a K per 9 of 11.37. Jeez. Clark says, I took a poll. You guys can't take time off again. My OCD went crazy last week. We'll try not to.
Yeah.
I think the goal will probably be, if we do take another break, it'll probably be around All-Star weekend. All-Star
right.
break. Yeah.
Then we'll prepare you a little bit for that one.
Yeah. And we may not take a break that week.
Right.
We haven't really talked about it. It just seems like a logical time to do that. Tyler Mahle, man, my guy, 12.1 innings since we've been gone, a 5.11 ERA, not super great. But Sonny Gray has been great, a K per 9 of 11.37, same as Antone, with an ERA of 3.24. Let's see here. Wade the Hulk Miley has a 1.50 ERA. Doolittle, Brock, and Gutierrez also all have decent ERAs, about 3.75 or below. Now, Sims, Feliz, Perez, Hembree, and Amir Garrett all have ERAs. And this is just over the time period since our last episode 2 weeks ago. All have ERAs over 10. Garrett and Perez have been walking everybody too. There's a good chance that if Cortland or I stepped into the box, they'd walk us too. That is if we didn't swing at everything, which I probably would.
They brought in the Perez gave up a grand slam the other night when we were getting smoked. I think he did. And then they brought in Blandino.
Poor Blandy.
Then they brought in one of the other guys. I think it was a out of position pitcher. I don't remember who it was.
Freeman. They put Freeman there.
Yeah. But is he a pitcher?
No, he's an infielder. Well, he's a utility guy. Clark says I might have to double my dosage, and it's just in the Phillies and are up 237-3, and that's what it felt like watching that game because it was like 4-3. It was like 4-3.
It was really close.
Man, that game was frustrating. Yeah, it did. I lost my place in my notes though. Sorry about that. So they've been walking a ton of batters in some games against the Phillies. The games were close, like I just mentioned. It was 4-3 in the fifth inning. 4-3 in the fifth inning. That's a game you can easily come back from if your bullpen doesn't give up 13 runs. I mean, just don't do that. You're paid a lot of money to not give up that many runs. So the team ERA as a whole is 4.79, which not great. But when you dig a little bit deeper, the starting rotations ERA is 2.98, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
The bullpen's ERA is 7.26. So the bullpen is dragging this team down. And the bullpen is the problem because if you give up more runs than you score,
right,
you're going to lose. However, if you only have 2 hitters out of 9 that are hitting the ball, you're also most likely going to lose. It's
kind of good to see where we can pinpoint an actual place that there's a problem now.
I mean it's defense, it's bullpen, it's hitting. There's a lot of problems.
But for pitching's sake, we didn't know because we had starting pitchers that were having ERAs in like the 8s as well. But now it's kind of been the other way around. What do you say here?
Clark says that's a decent stat. Thanks, Justin. What stat were you talking about? The ERA for the team rotation and bullpen? If so, I also like digging into those numbers. Fangraphs is where I get that information. You can break it down by starting rotation, team, bullpen, and also you can break it down by date. So you can pick a date range. It is a Stat Junkies just playground. It's amazing. Same thing for Baseball Savant. If you haven't been there, if you're into exit velocities, launch angles, team ERA. That's what he's talking about is team ERA. Yeah, super cool. Fangraphs is where I get all that stuff from. I love Fangraphs. I also love Baseball Savant. That's my plug for those two. So here's what I'm thinking is when the Reds do get everybody back healthy, they're going to have a surplus of players. And some are more attractive than others as far as like being productive. I'm thinking you got to flip somebody for a bullpen arm.
Who?
I don't know. So I was going to save this for the injury update. I'll probably repeat myself, but you have Votto and Aquino at AAA Louisville tonight, I believe, or this weekend. So Aquino is going to be coming back. You've already got Shogo. You've got Castellanos, Winker, Naquin. You've got Heineman, who can play in the outfield. So you've got outfielders, and I think Aquino is going to probably get a bigger return than like a Heineman. Nobody's probably going to want Heineman, if I'm
Right.
being honest with you. Nobody may want Shogo, honestly, at this point. I mean, I feel like Shogo can be clutch sometimes, but he just strikes out a lot and just doesn't get on base a lot, grounds out a lot. He just does not get on base.
Yeah.
Infielders, when Moose comes back, when Senzel comes back, it's weird that I put Senzel in the infielder category there, but which he might be, who knows? I mean, you're going to have a surplus of infielders, and yeah, you need bench bats, but like, I don't know. I think you got to trade maybe a project piece or something for bullpen arms. Maybe you trade a low tier prospect for maybe an expensive reliever that some losing team doesn't want anymore.
Right.
I don't know. You got to do something though. You got to get that bullpen because I think the hits will come. And maybe I'm being naive. I think they'll come when we get Votto, Moose, Senzel, which Senzel may be July, but for all we know,
Right.
maybe Aquino back. I mean, I think the hits will start to roll in when we see our guys back, but the bullpen, I mean, those are our guys.
I agree with that because if we're getting these guys that are just utility guys that are kind of showing up randomly and periodically throughout their stints for super hot games, I would hope that our bats that are injured will actually come back and put some numbers up. Because, I mean, gosh, if Castellanos and Winker can continue, and it's a lot to ask, but if they can continue what they're doing,
I mean, they've done it for 2 straight months.
right. If they can keep that up and you just slowly pepper in guys that you know are more consistent at the batter's box, then I think you get a couple guys in the bullpen that don't give up 7 runs. And even we don't have to worry about the bats as much. I don't think we need to score a ton of runs. I mean, it's just baseball. If you pitch good, you don't have to score a lot. You don't let them get enough to be up on you by 17-3 in the bottom of the 9th, and then you have a game. You keep it 4-3 throughout, and you can win.
Yeah. So it's only the 6th inning in Louisville right now, but I did look. Votto is currently 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Aquino 0 for 1, but he has walked twice and scored both times. That's good. I mean, if he can take pitches, I mean, do it. I mean, Clark wants to know, should we call it a season, just start a fire sale? No, not until July.
Yet. Yeah,
not until
yet.
July. Yeah. Trade deadline is at the end of July. I do think though, if you're not going to extend Castellanos, you got to trade him because he has an opt out after this year. Now, do I want them to extend Castellanos for how much and how long? That's debatable.
Right.
I want them to extend Winker, which I think Winker's up after next year. Gosh, yeah. I mean, I think if you're not going to extend Castellanos, if the ownership has no interest in extending him, I mean, you got to get something for him in July if they're not winning. Clark says, I hate to say it, but I agree. Yeah, it sucks. That's the worst part. Watching that team from like 2010 to 2012, really 2010 to 2013, I guess, kind of fall apart through trades was hard.
Yeah.
And we might be at that point again, except this team hasn't really been winning. So I guess it won't be as hard, but that was just a tough time to see all your favorites from that era kind of go away.
The optimism would be a little bit higher because I wouldn't be as upset if we're taking potential prospects with a team that's not been winning, because then you can just legitimately call it a season and just absolutely tank and use all the time you can to develop the guys that you get, rather than trying to bring these guys in and put them in and try to make a run.
Yeah.
It might be better that way, but yeah, it would suck. It would suck to see all these guys, especially where how hot they're. That just makes them super big trade bait. I mean, you can't deny
historically, it's weird. The Reds are weird. Historically, I feel like they trade the big players and they get crappy prospects in return. But then they trade like the crappy players and they get the Castillos, the DeSclafanis, the Suarezes. I mean, they get like the good guys for like nothing.
Yeah, they got Scooter too. When we had Scooter, I think
he was a waiver claim, I think.
Yeah, he was just picked up or whatever it was.
Yeah, just scooped him up. Clark wants to know, this is an excellent question. Is Barnhart a Red next year? And it honestly, so I think there's a good chance he will be, but I think there's probably an equally bad chance that he's not, or a good chance that he's not. I don't really know the proper phrasing. I think it depends on if another team's willing to throw a bunch of money at him.
Yeah.
if he gets hot again and starts hitting over 300 again, not to mention his defensive ability, no, somebody will snatch him up.
Yeah, and they have Steven, and I think they would let him. That they wouldn't have any problem, even though Stevenson's cooled way down.
Yeah.
He's a good enough young player that I wouldn't necessarily worry.
Stevenson's clutch. Like his
Yeah.
batting average may be in the 250s, but he is clutch.
Yeah.
Like out of the current team, I mean, I'd want either Winker, Castellanos, or Stevenson to have that potential game-winning hit in the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah.
I feel like he just comes up a lot in the bottom of the ninth. Clark says at the beginning of the year, I would have said no, but now I say it depends in reference to Barnhart. Yeah, I think it does just depend on. I mean, I think if another team's like, "Hey, we'll give you 2 years, $20 million," I think the Reds say, "No, we're not going to do that."
No.
If they can get him for like maybe like, gosh, I don't even know what it would take. I don't even know what he makes now. I don't know. I think it also depends on if the DH does come to the NL next year, because then you're going to have an aging, and I mean this no disrespect, but an aging Votto manning first base when really he could be the DH. He could be like, they could have a total resurgence just focusing on hitting and not defense, and then you move Stevenson to first base. So, I mean, anything can happen. I think, yeah, and he could be traded. He could be traded at the deadline. Real quick, Aquino just doubled. So Aquino is now 1 for 2 with 2 walks and 2 runs scored.
Nice.
Am I getting excited about an Aquino return?
Yeah. I mean, I would, with what we've got going on. Heck yeah. To speak to the Barnhart thing a little bit, he signed at the end of 2017, he signed a $16 million 4-year contract. So he's making $4 million a year. So yeah, I think if a team comes and says, we'll give you $20 million for 2 years, he's gone. I don't think the Reds would pay that kind of money, especially when they got the deal they did in the first place with him.
Clark says, great point, Justin. Not Cortland, but Justin. And regarding the DH. So thank you, Clark. I appreciate the praise. Don't give any praise to Cortland.
Speaking of Aquino,
yeah,
how are our minor leaguers doing, Justin?
You mean those little kids?
Those little kids down in the minor leagues.
So Hunter Green is now 3-0 on the year. He has a 1.91 ERA with 41 strikeouts and 28 in the third innings. I really hope his game in the minor leagues translates to the major leagues, because he's going to be nasty.
Yeah,
he's going to be so much fun to watch, hopefully for years to come. Let's see here, Jose Barrero, who is formerly known as Jose Garcia. Jose Garcia changed his name recently to honor his mother, who just passed away.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so Jose Barrero. Sorry, I don't want to butcher the name. I'm sorry. He is batting .284 with 4 homers, 17 RBI. Nick Lodolo, who has been lights out, was named the AA South Player of the Month, and he has a 2-0 record with a 1.01 ERA. He has 38 strikeouts and 26 innings. I know. They've got a lot of great arms down there. Clark says, Hunter Green, the machine. I like that. Let's see here. Austin Hendrick, he has cooled down a little bit. Again, he started slow, got hot, slowed down. He's batting .244. No homers, still 4 RBIs and 2 stolen bases. And Tony Santian has a 1-2 record with a 2.49 ERA. He has 32 strikeouts and 25 in the third inning. So I think the pitching in the minor league system is exciting. It's just, will it translate? Gutierrez, he's playing tonight even. He's looked pretty good. So, I mean, I just really hope that it translates to the major league.
If that could, that'd be the nastiest bullpen. That would be the absolute nastiest rotation. Just those 3 guys on top of the guys we have right now that are still good.
Oh yeah,
that would be freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at this comment.
Let's see. This is American man must be called Muhammad Ali. Called Muhammad Ali from coming to America regarding the guy changing his name. Yeah, I thought that was really nice that they did about it for his mom, to honor his mom. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so Jose Garcia is no longer Jose Garcia. So he'll have a new jersey when he inevitably makes his jump to the big leagues again. Which, gosh, I mean, given the rate of injuries, could be any day now.
Yeah. So now that we've talked about all of our optimistic prospects, let's jump into the division and get a little bit sad for a little bit. Every team in the NL Central class act Jose. Yes, Clark. That is 100% class act. But the NL Central, every team has held the top spot, like we said, at least once, except for the Pirates. And they were close there for a little bit in the beginning. So it's almost been every team. The Cubs are currently in first with a 32-23 record. They've just kind of turned it on and have not looked back. They're 9-1 over their last 10. They start a 4-game series against the Giants tonight, and we'll see how that goes. That's a big series. That could be a really fun series to watch.
That was the Cubs, you said?
Yeah, the Cubs and the Giants.
Let's see if they've already started playing. No, they start at 9:45.
Okay, all those West Coast games.
I know.
But yeah, if you find yourself up late, I would recommend watching that and seeing how the NL Central gets shaped by that one, because the Giants have the potential to take all 4 away from them. That'd be good. I wouldn't be complaining. The Cardinals, 31-25, which we are playing them at the moment. And what is the score update?
2-1. They have a runner on first with 1 out. The Reds do.
Okay. So
Suarez is up. I don't know who's on first. I wasn't watching.
Who's on first?
Who's on first? I don't know. It'd have to be India, it looks like, because Gutierrez just – oh, yeah, India singled. Gutierrez strikes out. Suarez is at bat. It hasn't caught up on my AT&T yet, but on the website it says in play outs. So hopefully just out and not outs, because that would mean the inning is over.
But the Cards, as of right now, 31-25. They've went 5-5 over their last 10. So they just finished up a series with the Dodgers where they lost 2 of 3, which that's a very tough series. Like, you can't blame them on that one. They take on the Reds starting tonight for 4 games. So we have 4 games against the Cards. The Cubs have 4 games against the Giants. This could be the series that the shakeup.
This is every NL Central team has a 4-game series.
Yeah. So this is, and 2 of us are playing each other, and 1 of us is playing a super good Giants team.
Oh, Clark just said Suarez hit into a fielder's choice. India out at second. My game that I'm watching just caught up to it. Yeah. So I'm like on a minute delay.
Thank you for the update, Clark. Appreciate it.
And now to Clark for sports.
The Brewers are third with a 29-26 record. They are 7-3 over their last 10, so they've also had a great little stretch. They start the 4-game series tonight against the D-backs. So
they're currently winning 4-2 in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, that one might hurt us because they're right ahead of us. They might take all those
for the D-backs.
Then the Pirates, 20-34. They've went 2-8 over their last 10. They start a 4-game series tonight against the Marlins. So
they're currently losing 3-2 in the bottom of the 6th.
So the Cardinals and Cubs, which we are playing the Cardinals, that has the potential to shake up the division again. Boys, are you guys screwed if you're getting your updates from me? That's good.
That's from Clark.
That would be cool to bring him in like a. But the division, right now we're 7 games behind, but like we said, after this 4-game series between all teams, who knows? We could be within 3, and then we could jump to a 3rd or 2nd spot potentially, depending on how everybody else does. So optimism, it can be alive still. That's what I know. Clark asked the question earlier: do we give up yet? I'm not there. And I'm very optimistic. I'm a very optimistic guy, but it has been hard over these last couple of weeks. But we're not there yet. It's possible. When one series can turn it around, we still got this.
The Reds have a very tough schedule the rest of this month.
They do, but I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic.
Hey, man, do you want to try to go to that game, one of the games against the Padres, and see Tatis Jr.?
Oh gosh,
dude, I'm not a Padres fan, but I'm a Tatis Jr. fan. I am. See, I like him.
I'm gonna look up what they are right now. Let's see, Reds schedule.
They play him at the end of this month if you want to go.
Games. Sunday.
Yeah, they play the Padres twice, one in San Diego and then in Cincinnati. Dang, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, they do have a rough.
They do. Atlanta. What's Atlanta look like? Geez. Let's see here. Atlanta's 26-28. I mean, they have a lot of weapons though. What? Clark just said, Clark, I hope you're not lying to me. He just says a home run by Winker, a 2-run home run. Winker's at bat right now. It hasn't caught up for me yet.
Reds. Nice.
Oh, that's what we're talking on the website.
Boom, baby.
Clark's our sports guy. He's our sports anchor.
Hey, we didn't plan this tonight either, but we're both wearing our Castellanos jersey.
We had to, man.
Or shirt because he's about the only one other than Winker that's been doing okay.
Did you see where they put that up at Great American Ballpark?
Yeah.
Oh
it's outside the stadium now, and it's ginormous.
Amazing.
And normally, like when they do that stuff, they transparent the background, and they kind of like yours is without even the Cardinals dude in it. They just do Castellanos. They left the picture in it. I love it so much. It's so awesome. That's so great.
I love it. Man, Winker. Man, that was a good looking home run too.
Clark's throwing some shade. Check that out. That's pretty good.
Oh God, I'm not gonna put that one up, but yeah.
If he wants to check out the comments, Clark's out here bashing the Cardinals and players specifically.
Oh boy. All right. Oh, and then Castellanos singles. Oh my gosh. And
there we
now
go.
No one's gonna hit again until Winker's back up.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wrap this up because we gotta watch this game.
I know.
I'm surprised Clark's hanging in there with us. It was just for us. Nice.
Oh man, we picked up some viewers along the way too. Dang!
All right,
everyone joining us.
They're picking up tonight because we have Clark's play-by-play in the comments. They don't even have to watch the game.
That's right. But I lost where we were.
We're out of the division and we are now into the injury updates. Justin,
injury updates. So Joey Votto and Aristides Aquino have started rehab assignments, which we talked about already. Aquino's looking really good tonight.
Yeah.
Votto, not so much, but he'll get there. Senzel's on the IL after having knee surgery. We probably won't see him again until July. I get that information from my own brain, which possesses zero medical knowledge. I'm just assuming. Typically, it's like anytime a player gets hurt and they don't say, it's like 4 to 6 weeks.
Especially him. He's so prone to accidents that they'll play it safe. I'd say you're right on the money there.
Yeah.
Again, not a doctor.
Watching both, and he says, "Take that, Jeff Brantley." Multitasking. I'm coming for your job. I think we should get a campaign started to get Clark hired.
That'd be sweet. That would be sweet.
Let's see here. So Senzel hurt, and it just sucks to see him get hurt because he's already hurt a lot. I mean, there's just no denying that.
Right.
And he's getting a reputation for being injury prone, which he is. I mean,
this was kind of the season too. He was kind of getting out of the stigma a little bit.
He was my breakout pick for the year.
And he was doing pretty good. And
I mean, defensively, I felt like he was taking big leaps. He had several multi-hit games. I mean, I'm talking like he's dead. He's not, but he'll be back. I hope. But it just sucks to see like his career already be so hampered by these injuries. I mean, the guy, he dives to grab a ball defensively and he hurts himself. I mean, it sucks. It sucks. And I hope that it just stops happening to him. So after that, Moose was seen running on the field Monday. He's been in a boot and an MRI showed a partial tear in his heel. So Moose's injury is a little more serious, it sounds like, than we were led to believe, and no return date has been set. That's a big blow, not only on the field, but in the clubhouse. I feel like he is a leader in that clubhouse.
Yeah.
And then I had Aquino on here, so I won't say that again because I've already said it once. So, wait, hang on a minute. There's some stuff here. Clark says, Justin, it would have been smart to pick a box of Kleenex to get through 162 games. Why do you gotta do Senzel dirty like that? Gosh, I know. I mean, he is injury prone. I just hate it. I hate it a lot. And I drafted him on my fantasy team this year. I was so confident. I'm like, this is the year. And then it wasn't. So, all right. Time for everyone's favorite segment.
The weekly awards. I didn't know what we were doing there.
I didn't know what we were doing either. We had to come up with a little jingle. So for play of the week, mine is going to be Castellanos' grab in the outfield to Rob McCutcheon of what would probably be a double. He just snagged it, and it was just so good. If you haven't seen that play, go back and look. Reds, Phillies, just leaps and snatches it out of the air. It's pretty great.
My play of the week, it kind of sucks because unless I can think of another one off the top of my head, it was mainly a pitch of the week, which my pitcher is going to be the same person. But Sonny Gray was throwing. No, Anton's been doing great too. He actually threw some pretty nasty stuff as well. But Sonny Gray, when he was getting his starts in the series against the Brewers and the Nationals, dude, his stuff looked freaking nasty. Like just he had one guy, he threw a breaking ball way out. I'm talking 2 feet outside the zone in the dirt, and the guy swung, went to his knees. It was just so it looked like me and MLB The Show. Like it was really really bad.
So I did want to jump in and talk about us playing that the other day.
Yeah.
And
Hey, I did pretty good. I surprised you when we started.
the mercy rule went into effect.
You were not expecting me
like
to.
10-0.
I got like 3 hits in a row in the beginning.
10-0. You didn't score.
Yeah, but that's what happens when I don't have any great other players.
Yeah, that's true. If anybody plays MLB The Show and you like to play with us, let us know, because we do play that occasionally. It's a lot of fun. Let's see here. So that was your play of the week?
Yes.
All right.
The nasty pitch to the outside.
So real quick, Clark thinks that Senzel reminds him of Ryan Friel. Injury-wise, he also says, sorry, Cortland, I think Justin beat you to it. I'm going to be honest, I don't know what that's in reference to. If you want to chime in and let us know, that'd be great. And then he says, best play of the week, no question. Also, don't know which one you're talking about.
I'm assuming he's talking about the grab of the home run.
Probably is pretty sweet. Let's see here. Hitter of the week. Mine be Nick Castellanos. He's now on a 19-game hitting streak, which is a personal best for him, and it's a league best for the year.
Yeah. I'm going to go with old Jesse Winker, just to take the other side of the coin. We can't deny one of these guys the spotlight in our weekly awards because we know how much they look forward to being on here, the potential to be on our weekly awards.
Yeah, I think Winker was texting you yesterday like, hey, you better pick me, right?
And I did. And again, he has rewarded me tonight with a 2-run shot. So
I think I even saw him mouth the words, this is for Cortland, before he stepped up to the box.
Yep. He pointed to the camera. He didn't point to the outfield. He pointed to the camera. So, yeah, Nick Castellanos and Jesse Winker, they're keeping the team alive.
They honestly are.
They're doing it on both sides of the field, apparently. So, yeah, Winker's not he never has like super flashy plays when he's playing in the field, but he plays defense, and that's all you can ask for. I like this comment from Clark.
Yeah, too. He says those guys are the 2021 Bash Brothers minus the whole steroids thing. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? No, they shouldn't be doing that.
What about your pitcher of the week? I thought this was pretty interesting.
Yeah, mine's not Amir Garrett or Luis Castillo. That's all I got.
Ooh, man, poor Castillo. You pick. We both have had one that's kind of just been an absolute punch in the face. You pick Senzel, just injury. I mean, you can't help that. But I pick Castillo, and he's just absolutely crapped the bed like every opportunity. I know he's had a couple of games, but we're way past the point of having a couple of good games. He is just crapping the bed as of late. So yeah, he's not mine either. The guy I did pick, like I said, Sonny Gray. The breaking balls he was throwing in the Brewers and National Series were just pure nasty. And we actually had one of the who liked our tweet, Justin.
We've had a few likes. John Sadak liked a tweet.
Speaking of nasty, who liked our tweet?
Oh, Rob Dibble.
Yeah.
I actually tweeted him about it because he tweeted about MLB The Show, and I told him that I had just upgraded to his new Prime card.
Ooh.
And he's in my bullpen at Diamond Dynasty, and he liked it, which is pretty cool. Yeah. I thought John Sadak liking our tweet was pretty cool, too.
Yeah.
I really like John Sadak. Let's see. That might be my biggest surprise, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, biggest surprise. So Sonny Gray was my pitcher. What about biggest surprise, Justin?
My biggest surprise is that so baseball is a multi-layered sport. You've got all these guys that are in the minor leagues that they don't make any money. They're not fed. They're not housed properly when they're on the road. It's a big deal. And they're all fighting for that chance to make it to the big leagues, to the show. And the fact that the Reds have been so hit with injuries and none of them have stepped up.
Yeah.
So it's like they don't even want to do this for a living. And maybe I'm being too harsh right now, but it's just frustrating that you have all these guys that are not household names. They're not even everyday players. They're given an opportunity to play for a big league club, and they just, none of them. I mean, Schrock was kind of doing it, and then he got hurt, which that sucks. But the rest of them just, no one is stepping up and trying to prove that they belong in the major leagues.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a big surprise because you would think that there'd be somebody that would be like, you know what, I'm going to be that guy, and it's just not happening. So that's mine.
To go on the opposite, biggest surprise, which it's not a surprise just because how well they're doing. Castellanos and Weaker are in the running to be in the National League MVP, or not MVP. They're both slated to be all-stars for the National League in the outfield.
Voting started today too, so
yeah.
go vote for them, please.
Which that would be amazing. To two of the three outside outfield positions would be Reds, and that would be just freaking awesome. So yeah, they're obviously, they both deserve it. So I don't know if it's necessarily a surprise. I just think it's awesome that they didn't just try to throw one out because they're both from the same team. They're so dominant right now that they don't have any choice but to put them on the both on the ballot pretty highly. So yeah.
Clark had a few comments here. He goes, "Is there an anti-Cy Young award?"
We should do that into the season.
We should, and Clark needs to get credit. We'll call it the annual Clark anti-Cy Young Award. He goes like the Razzies for Academy Awards. He did have one that had a word in it. It was a family-friendly show, but he thought the Rob Dibble thing was cool. And then great point, Justin. Man, I'm crushing it with Clark.
You
today.
are.
Lack of effort and hustle on the guys not stepping up. Thank you, Clark. Clark provides a lot of good feedback throughout the show.
I just bought a shirt at a yard sale for my son, and it says Cincinnati invented hustle.
Nice.
And it's kind of the opposite right now. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Luckily, it's a little too big, so you can't. I don't think you can wear it this year. But
maybe by the time that they start trying,
they'll start hustling a little more.
Yeah.
But yeah. So where are we looking ahead?
Oh boy. So the Reds start you already know this. We've said a few times. They start a 4-game series against the Cardinals tonight. They're currently up 3-2 in game 1, but it's still early in that game, and I don't want this to age poorly. So I'm not going to go any further. And let's see, they have an off day on Monday and then a 3-game series against the Brewers. So 2 very critical division game series coming up. I've been optimistic all year. And I'm going to be honest with you, given the bullpen and the lack of hitting, I'm going to say they win 2 against the Cardinals and 1 against the Brewers. Corlin, I see your notes already.
I'm bringing it back, baby. We need it. The optimism is needed. I'm needed. Are you reading?
Yeah, Clark said there's a quote on the walls at Great American Ballpark that says there are 2 buses going to the ballpark tomorrow. Those that need extra work, that bus is leaving at 2 p.m. The empty bus is leaving at 4 p.m. I forget who said it, but it reminded me of your point regarding minor league players.
That's pretty good.
It is, yeah. I mean, I hope they'll. I mean, because I obviously want these people to be successful, even if I don't know their name yet, or if they don't, if they were maybe a lowly rated prospect. Like you want to see, those are the feel good stories,
right?
So yeah, I want them to be good, but
like the Max Schrock, when Max Schrock did it at the beginning of the season, I had no idea who Max Schrock was.
Yeah,
and he was able to do it again when he got a chance again, but again he's been hurt, so he can't help that. But you want that. You want them to be a Max Schrock. Like now, Reds fans know who Max Schrock is. He's the guy that came in and he kind of absolutely tore it up there for a little bit. Yeah. And if they could all do that, we're in a different standing rather than 4th. But yeah, I'll go ahead and give you my predictions.
Let's hear.
The Reds are going to go 4-0 against the Cardinals. Get us back in it. We're going to get back in it. We're going to get 4 games. Four games back right here. And then we're going to go 2-3 against the Brewers. So I'll give the fans what they want. I'm not going to be overly optimistic. We're going to sweep the Cards in the 4-game series, and we'll lose 1 against the Brewers. I think that's pretty fair. I don't think I'm being too crazy there.
You don't think you're being too crazy? Yeah,
no, I don't think I'm being too crazy.
Clark had another good comment. He said, I mean, I think all of us would love to have a chance regarding playing at the major league level. And who am I to judge? But if I had that chance to be in a Reds uniform, I would kill myself to stay there. And yeah, I mean, obviously we don't know what's going on with these players mentally. I mean, nerves are probably playing a part, but come on, man. This is your job. And if you want to keep your job at the highest level, yeah, you gotta do something. And maybe they're not cut out for it. So.
I think that's the thing about baseball. It is kind of that sport that really does show who is the great and who is the okay. I mean, you're okay, you stay in, you move around a little bit. But if you're great, you get a team to buy in and you're there for forever and you consistently do what you do and you become a Jeter, or for a Reds, you become a Votto, you become a, and King Griffey Jr. didn't even do super hot. I mean, he wasn't, it's not like he came in and was just unreal like he was when he was at the Mariners, but he was one of the greats. So he was able to transition into another system when he was older and do good too. So you want that, but again, that's baseball. That's kind of why you love it, just to see whose team's going to have that guy that's the next big guy. Moonlight Graham, Field of Dreams, man. Yeah, these comments are great, Clark. These are awesome.
All right, so Cortland thinks they're going to win 4 against the Cardinals, and they may. I mean, I'm not going to say they're not going to do that. And he thinks they're going to win 2 out of 3 against the Brewers. I think they'll win 2 against the Cardinals and 1 against the Brewers. And yeah, I'm the no fun one right now. So that's my thinking. Let's see here. Clark says no one thought Votto would amount to anything in his draft class.
Yeah.
I think it was all about heart with him. Yeah, Votto is a dude. You can just tell that he cares. And even like when he plays poorly, I'm a Votto defender. A lot of people are like, oh, his contract's awful, or trade him or whatever. Nah, I like Votto. I want him to stay red forever. And because I know that if he's playing poorly, he's gonna bounce back if he's able to. So yeah. All right. So that might be our show.
I think it's it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Did we do it?
We did it. We did. I think we did a pretty okay job. Not being here.
No rust after a week off. So that's our show. As always, please like and follow us on social media and subscribe to our show on your favorite podcasting app and on YouTube.
Yeah.
The show airs live at 8:30 on Thursdays, which you know that if you're here, and live recordings go up shortly after. Share us with your friends, leave a review, just shout our name from the rooftops, not our actual names, but the name of the show, so people know who we are. Clark, once again, says, great show as always, buddy. And we appreciate that, Clark. Let's see. He also says, one of the highlights of my week. Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you. But unfortunately, this highlight is going away now for until next week. So it was great having everyone here tonight. And we will see you all next week. Wait, real quick, Cortland, do you have anything you want to add?
Nope.
I thought you wanted to sing a song.
Oh, I dreamed a dream of time. Well,